Hey, everybody. Hey, you caught me drinking. Ha ha. I've got several things planned for you today. And I'm going to start off while people are joining. I have a question for you. So here is my question. Let's make a master list. Okay, that's not my question. My question is, oh, it's not here. Here we go. In 2 words or less, how would you describe life with your dog on a daily basis? Just put that in the comments. How would you describe life with your dog on a daily basis? I'm just waiting for other people to come in. So I'm going to look at your comments. Hello from Texas. Hey, Catherine. Mostly joyful, Susan says. And Bonnie says the same thing. So one of you are on Facebook and one of you are on YouTube. That's interesting. She makes me get up in the morning. Is that how you would describe it? Hey, Kay. Fun and sometimes chaos, forever learning. Could be better, Mimi says. I love your honesty, Mimi. Thank you. Busy and fun. 16 weeks old, puts everything in his mouth. Been there. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. The light on here seems to be very pinky. Very pinky. I don't know why. Hi from Switzerland, Sandy. Hi. Living our best life, says Louise. So, in 2 words or less, how would you describe life with your dog on a daily basis? Like, what? Jam-packed? Always fun? Life's an adventure? Stressful at times, says Kathy. That's, again, thank you for your honesty. Francis says, good except for distraction. That's when she pulls me almost down. That doesn't sound so good. Okay. And I've got a similar question. In 2 words or less, how would your dog describe that life? So what are the words your dog would use now to describe that life? I'm just going to see if I can change this color of this light. I might not be able to. It just looks like everything's a little bit red. Oh, I don't know if I did anything, but how would your dogs describe it? Joyful adventure, sometimes confusing. You guys are awesome how vulnerable you're being with your honest answers. Let's go. Very fun. Very loud when puppy plays with the older dog. Some great answers. Super fun. Challenging but fun. I think that was Sandy's answers to the first part of the question. Dog says fun. Me, not so much fun. Again, I appreciate your honesty. Bored and fun. My little dude would say life was a party. My big girl just wants a nap. Oh, excellent, excellent answers. Interesting. Okay. So I want you to think about that, about are you and your dog on the same page with regards to how you would describe life? And are you both living the life that you want to live together? All right. I have one more question for you. All right. This is it. I want to make a master list of what do you like. I got my pen and paper. I'm going to write these things down. What do you think are the skills or behaviors that dogs should know in order to live their best life? Let's make a master list. What do you think are the top 10 skills or behaviors that a dog should have in order to have, when I say their best life, I think it's a life of freedom, a life of joy. Okay, so Louise, sit, stay, and calm. Calm. Lots of recalls. How to be calm. Crate trained. How to react around other dogs. Leave it. Emergency recall. Relax alone or with humans. That's a good one.
Appropriate interactions with other dogs.
Yeah, appropriate and tolerate husbandry. That's a good one. I put my head down, you guys, like it's scrolling by.
Stay home alone.
Yep, that was a good one, to be relaxed and calm, either alone or with humans.
Greet people calmly.
Greeting people.
Connect with the trainer.
Recall, house and leash politeness, crate training, socializing, attention, connection. Could stay home alone. Go on their bed. Keep focus more. Listen to owner despite the good smell. So that I put that as ignore distractions. And you could call it, Diane wrote, self-control around people and animals. Understand expectations. I love how you said that. Understand expectations.
Ride well in a car.
House trained. That's the thing that we take for granted, but not all dogs are house trained. Permission to go outside. So that would be like, that's a good one. I wrote it down, self-control.
Walk on a trail setting.
Ignore distractions. Yeah, you guys are, wow, you got a lot of good ones. Okay. Let me see. I think I've got 11 categories. See if I'm missing any from what you've written. I've kind of put them in 2 categories. Walk on a loose leash, like regardless of the distraction. I didn't see anyone put this. This is one that I put. Be partner with a human. Okay, I'm going to take liberties on that. And I'm going to put, there are 2 things that I want all my dogs to have. And I think that contributes to their best life. And that was what I put on my list. And that is to retrieve. I mean, who doesn't like to play a game of fetch with a dog? And for anybody who likes to train a dog, retrieve and tug. Those are 2 things I have on my list. Come when called. Husbandry, which means some of you, like if you have a doodle, you have to get that doodle used to being groomed and not just tolerate it. I want my doodle. I don't have one, but someday I might. Oh my God, wouldn't that blow up the internet? I would want my doodle to be completely at ease and to the point of, oh, I love being groomed. Dogs can love to be groomed, but it has to be more than a monthly event, especially if you have a coat like a doodle. So I want my dog to more than tolerate getting their nails done. I want them to be like 100% joyful. I mean, that they're like, this is cool. I like this. Okay. Shelley put her whole top 10. If you've got your own top 10, put it all in one post. Shelley, I like this idea. Listen, wait, socialization, recall, leave it, drop, and maybe close the door when you come back indoors when it's cold out. I love that. Okay, Kim, I apologize for encouraging doodle breeders because you're right. But you know what? Let's not get into that. There's a lot of not so great breeders of mixed breeds and purebreds. So here's my list: loose leash walking, tug, retrieve, stay off the counters, Like, don't go stealing food out of my pocket or out of the bag I left on the floor. That when I bring the shopping in from the car, that's none of your business. Just stay out of my stuff. Husbandry, which we spoke about, grooming, nail trimming, play nice with other dogs. That, that's not necessary. But I it's kind of fun to watch two dogs play. But at the very least, I would like my dog to ignore other dogs, not be agitated by other dogs. If I had children, I would like my dog to listen to the children as well as they listen to me. To be quiet when I ask. Like if you're barking at something and I say that's enough. I don't mind a dog that barks, especially when I live out in the country. It's not a horrible thing. Not to harass other house pets. That's a good one too, Kim. Don't lunge or be reactive when we're walking on leash. I guess that would kind of go into some of those other ones. And two, when I ask you to go somewhere, like somebody put in a dog bed or what we call a hot zone, if I ask you to lay down, that doesn't mean for like 10 seconds or until you feel like leaving, you stay there until I release you. So they have an understanding of hold position until I release you. And I think is there anybody on this list? Like, give me a heart, or if you're on YouTube, just put a less than 3 on the YouTube comments. If you either do dog sports or intend on doing dog sports, that because I think there is nothing else. Yeah, leave wildlife and cats alone. I think that would go on to not being reactive to anything in your environment, like ignore distractions. All right. So if you are doing any dog sports, there would be nothing else I would add to that list to have a phenomenal sport dog. There's nothing else I would add. There's nothing else needed. That if I have a dog who will walk on a loose leash, that means they already understand how to hang out in what I call reinforcement zone. So I think this is a great list that we've put together. So you got be calm, be calm around other dogs or distractions like cats. The leave it when I ask. And here's what I think. So I don't have a leave it cue. We teach it's your choice. A lot of you know that. If I see my dog about to, let's say, roll in something, I just call their name and say, we're going this way. So, yeah, we're going this way. That's not your business. Let's keep moving on. So I don't have a leave it cue. I just have a really great recall and a great communication with my dogs that, yeah, I'm not going to be the girl bathing you tonight. So let's just move on. Okay. Learn to swim around water for safety. Yeah, that's a good one. How many dogs in our house would not have swam? I would say probably Momentum might have. None of my other dogs would have been swimmers that live in the house right now. Definitely this took me the longest. Tater would not have been a swimmer. All my dogs swim. All right. So that's a fun one. And I think that actually would contribute to a dog living their best life. And so I am on here today to share with you that you guys may not be aware of the fact that we have recolors open for registration right now. It's only open for, I think it's like 50 more hours or something. Today is Wednesday. Is today Wednesday? Yeah, actually less than 24 or less than 30 hours. So recolors registration closes tomorrow. And so I wanted to jump on here and share with you all of those things on those top 10, including the ones I added. They're all possible within recolors. Believe it or not, they are. And so I know there are people that are looking at, and why do I say that? Because recolors is 40 games. And through those 40 games, we teach the dog what we're looking for. This is a great graphic to explain to you. What we're looking for is we want a dog that has environmental neutrality, which means other kids, other dogs, they're all white noise. So I don't have to say, don't look at that dog or watch me. This is something that I haven't mentioned before. and something that LOH, who is here, who is in the same room as me, and who actually has been an instructor on recallers since the very first day, she said she wanted to be a student of mine because my dogs had this amazing attention for me. And I said, that's a byproduct of how I train. I never, ever teach watch me or the Zen game where I teach the dog to watch my face. I never do. I actually teach the opposite. We teach the dogs to look at things. I don't want anything in the environment to scare them because they're staring at me. I want them to scan the environment when we're out walking and they go, oh, look, Mom, there's a dog over there, right? So attention, checking in, becomes a byproduct rather than a cue that you must do this way, right? Do you understand what I mean? Am I explaining myself well enough with this? So when you train your dogs through strategic play, they want to look at you because you can spontaneously break out into a game. They are giving you attention as a byproduct of what you've done together. It is not at all a forced thing. So if I see questions, I'm just going to pop these up. Claire, there is a monthly installment plan for recallers. Yes, there is. If you go to recallers.com/join, you'll see it there. And I probably should have a nice little graphic made up with that on it. And I don't know that I do. So I don't have a nice little graphic I can show you. So somebody will put that in the chat, I'm sure. Okay, so we teach the focus of recallers. Let me tell you the backstory of this one. It was all about, I used to teach seminars all over the world, and I would say this statement, that the recall, which I always said is the most important skill to train any puppy or dog. It's the one I obsess on the most. It's the foundation of all good behavior. The recall is a reflection of the relationship you have with your dog. And people would, this one woman got she said, you're a scientist. That's a load of crap. A recall is just reinforcement. It's a history of reinforcement. That's all a recall is. And I said, well, history of reinforcement is what gives us a recall, but no recall shows that your relationship, you might love your dog and your dog might love you when you're curled up on the couch. But when there's other options for the dog, they're choosing other options, which if you had a boyfriend and he was your boyfriend when you're watching Netflix, but when you go out clubbing, he's no longer your boyfriend, that's not a great relationship, is it? So that's unless you're a swinger, but let's not go there. So that is what your dog's a swinger when you go out and you're in distractions. And that isn't a great relationship in my books. And so she challenged me on that. And I put together recallers. At that time, it was 35 games that people played. And at the beginning of it, I asked them to evaluate the relationship they think they have with their dog right now. And at the end, I asked them to evaluate again. And it was almost like off the charts, double or more for most of the people that took the course. Some people, obviously, they started with a good relationship, so it wouldn't have increased that much. But that's why I say a recall is a reflection of that relationship. And so yeah, never thought of dogs as being swingers, but if they are saying, I'm not interested in looking at you when there's another distraction around, how do we get that? Well, how do you improve any relationship? You invest reinforcement into that relationship. You seek to understand the partner. You don't seek to demand from the partner. And that's what our program is about. It's about game-based learning, where we recognize that our dog's behavior doesn't define who they are. All it does is define the direction they need our training to go in. And that's what it's all about for me. Okay. Here's another question. Mike asks, can you talk about the coaching that is part of recallers? How much live coaching time do we get with your team, or any other details about how the support works as we go through the videos? Okay, Mike, let me just show you, just so you guys get an idea. I just took a screen grab of Oh, okay. I think I'm going to have to do this in order for you to hear me. Hi. So this might be easier for me. So this is a screen grab of Recallers. And what it is, when you join, if you were to join today, there's 4 games there for you. Once you complete a game, it goes kind of gray. You can see I've completed 3 games in this little demo model. And there's drop-down menus across the top. So you watch a video, you can take a quiz to see your understanding of the game. We've tried to gamify this to make sure you keep moving forward. There's a quick tips, which is just a little thing that you can take to your training to remind you of the key things that were from the video, so you don't have to write it all out. And then, of course, there's the whole playbook, which is the lessons that you have. Then we have down below the written instruction, and that is the equipment that you require to play the game, if there is any, and then the quick how to get started quickly. And so that's the basis of it. Let me get rid of this picture from my face now. And so there is a video for every game. And then I would say 50% of our students, and that's a guess, prefer to do their work on our website. This is a high-tech website that we've custom built. And so you watch the game, you can ask questions, you can then go and post or video your own training. This is one of the things we recommend. Regardless if you're in Recallers or not, you should get something like this, like a Gorilla tripod. And if you don't want to get that fancy, I often just use toilet paper rolls because I get out to train and I don't have a tripod with me. Although now I have so many tripods, I rarely have to go back to a toilet paper roll. But whatever works, you don't have to have something as fancy as that. You video your training, you compare your training to what is on the game, and then you go, I see where my mechanics are different. And you do it again until you go, I think my mechanics are the same, but I don't see that I'm getting the same results. So for whatever reason, then you post your video into Recallers. Now, I said 50% prefer to do it in the classroom. 50% like to do it on Facebook. So we do have a Facebook community for Recallers as well. So you post your video and then you get feedback that way. There's a lot of extras in there. So there are previous coaching calls where you can go back and see me talking people through how the mechanics of a game that they have played or maybe didn't play exactly correctly. So I hope that answers your question. That is how our students all improve. So if I didn't answer it correctly, then come on back to me, Mike. Okay.
Louise talks about she hesitated because she didn't trust you would follow through. Do you want to talk about follow through and how we help?
Okay, hold on. I'm just going to put a star on that. So there's a lot of questions, and I'm just putting a star on them so I can come. So I don't want to lose them. Lori says, "Pretty sure you're my spirit animal."
Oh,
thank you, Lori.
That's awesome.
Okay, so I'm trying to find Louise. It was Louise's question.
Yeah, she was just making a statement.
Okay, and what is it?
That prior to Doggy Flick, she didn't trust she would follow through, but she saw the change in the dog.
So Louise said prior to our Doggy Flick series, she didn't think she would follow through with the training. When the training is a game, like who doesn't love to interact with your dog? And what would be better than interacting in so many different ways, right? Like imagine, let's go back to a relationship that you have, be it with a parent, with a child, with a partner. If you always did only the same thing, hi, I love you. Let's have dinner together. Let's have dinner together again. Yeah, I love you. Hi, I love. No, how about, hey, let's go ziplining. Let's go hiking. Let's go cycling. Let's go. There are different ways to interact to enhance your relationship and deepen the bond and decrease the need to be a swinger, right? And so that's what these games are. of course, there's strategic games that are purposely meant to teach your dog something. But so what Louise is saying is she didn't think she'd follow through. Number one, the way we set it up for it to be habit to you is more likely that you will follow through. Number two, nobody's saying take your dog, put their ear in your fingers and pinch them as hard as you can. We are telling you things that you want to do with your dog because it just deepens that relationship. And at the end of the day, you get these amazing results. So that's why people follow through. And I'm going to be honest, not everybody's going to follow through every week because life happens to us. Sometimes we're feeling a little bit down. That's where the community comes in. I'll share a little personal story. In 2019, so that was 3 years ago, my husband passed away suddenly. And I stopped working. I didn't do anything. The thing that helped me come around was going to recallers. I would just lurk. I wasn't teaching. I was just enjoying the comments and the community and the energy. And that's what got me going again. And so we all have stuff that gets us stuck. And the only thing that can get you unstuck is the feeling of belonging, the feeling of community and support. So I just have never seen it anywhere else. And it's nothing that you would ever, I can't even describe what it's like being in the recallers community. It's a pretty tight-knit group, probably because it's been around so long. Like we started this program in 2009. July 18th, 2009 was our launch of our first ever open recallers that we opened for registration. And my, oh my, it's sure changed since then. But a lot of people have been in the community ever since then. And that's really, I think, part of why it's such an amazing group of people. So I'm going to show, this is a great comment too. Trish says, I'm planning on getting a puppy, currently using a friend's dog to practice. Can I still join? I want to learn the training before I got a puppy. Trish, you are brilliant. So it's funny. I've had two good, very, very good friends who contacted me 3 months. One was 3 months. One was actually like almost 9 months before they got a puppy. And they said, what should I do? And I said, well, when we open up recallers, you need to join because a dog is as good as the trainer is. That's the facts. How is a trainer good? Is it that we are more artistic? Some people would have you believe that it is an innate knack that, I have the good dog trainer gene. It isn't. It's getting good at mechanical skills. And how do you get good at mechanical skills? Number one, having a mentor that teaches you how to be good at mechanical skills in the easiest way possible. So you don't feel like you're a complete failure. So you don't feel like giving up. That the mechanical skills happen easy for you. So that means you are more willing to practice with your dog. And guess what happens when you practice with your dog? Your dog gets better. Both you and your dog are getting this great dopamine hit. And that's why it becomes, I don't know, I've never really practiced my dog training when my instructor told me before, but I seem like I'm practicing this recaller stuff like I've never done it before. So Trish, that is the most brilliant thing. It's only like, it's like gravy on top if you have access to somebody else's dog or you live near a rescue that you can go in and practice with their dogs. But you can still go through the program before you get a puppy and start going through. There's a lot of educational material. So recallers is 40 games. I guess my team could probably tell me what percentage of the 40 games, what percentage of all of the education we have on recallers, what percentage are those 40 games? Linda, what would you guess? I would say maybe 30%. So there's a lot more stuff there for you, that education that you can choose to dig into, but don't be overwhelmed because you will have amazing results, even if you just do that for those 40 games. But if you say, oh crap, my dog's really pulling on leash and being reactive around other dogs. Okay. We will be releasing jaywalking very soon. For all of you who've been waiting for jaywalking, it was done. It was finished about 6 or 9 months ago. And I'm like, there needs to be more clarity. So I pulled it back. My team was not happy with me. And I just finished videoing the extra pieces that are going to go boom. I'm going to make it so cool for everybody. Like, here's what I think about jaywalking, and I'm off topic. So if those of you who don't know what jaywalking is, it's another program that teaches you in a very unique way how to have a dog walk at your side on a loose leash. And jaywalking could be recallers. It could be the program that you all join, but you get it free when you join recallers. It's one of the, we have other courses in there if you need it. If you need to teach your dog how to bring a toy back, we've got the Bring Me course. If you need how to teach a dog how to enjoy getting groomed or their nails trimmed or their teeth brushed. Our dogs get their teeth brushed every day. They love it. They come flying when we call them. All right. There's courses there's the pedicure police. So there's courses in there for other things that you need. So the actual 40 games, which give you these amazing results, that's just part of it. Lisa, boom, boom, boom. So Lisa, who is on our team, she just told me the 40 games represents 38% of all that is there in recallers. So I wasn't far off. Okay, I'm going to go to these questions. So Gloria, shout out to Gloria. She had this question before we even went live. She had this question posted. So Gloria, I hope you're still around. So Gloria from Mexico is, I got Homeschool the Dog. Can you explain the difference between the two courses? Is some things repeated? There might be a couple, three games that are repeated. So the difference between the courses is we developed Homeschool the Dog when COVID hit, because I knew there were a lot of shelter dogs that got put into homes and a lot of people had zero access to dog training. So we put Homeschool the Dog. We actually were working on it because we wanted a course that was less intensive for people who wanted to join recallers, but really weren't ready for an investment. It's $500 US investment. So Homeschool the Dog was a $300 US investment. That's what we put together. But it's 4 months of coaching for Homeschool the Dog. And there's 12 games, and 3 of them you'll see again in recallers. Recallers, you get 40 games plus, as I mentioned, all of those other courses you get for free. Like, it's if you need them. Okay, I'm going to another question here. I have an 8-month-old Aussie. My husband, who loves our puppy dearly, has finally agreed to work with a trainer. He wants to work with someone we know and he trusts. She is going to be positive reinforcement. She recommended Control Unleashed to us. My question, if I join recallers, can this work? I've watched a lot of your blogs, watched Doggy Flicks, and I love your positivity. And in the end, I want my dog to have the best life I can give. 100%. It should. I mean, if Control Unleashed is one of the things they recommended, then our philosophies are going to be meshing 100% with that. Okay, where is the Connected Plus series found in recallers? If you go into the coaching tab and drop down, you'll see it in there. Will recallers work if we can't use food treats? What we need is something that is reinforcing for your dog. Now, if you can't use food treats because your dog has allergies and you can only use a specific food, then what we do is we transfer the value. So we get you, let's say your dog loves tugging, but the food treats are pretty bland because they're on a special diet. Then we build up the value of your bland treats by using something that the dog really, really loves. So will recallers work if there is no reinforcement available to you? No. And no reinforcement-based program will. However, this is one of the only programs that will tell you we can help you build value for one reinforcement by using another. Okay, back here. Mike. Mike says, I think I got it. Feedback on our training videos is asynchronous from your team via text comments, not live sessions like Connected Plus. No, most often, Mike, the feedback is via text. And here's what I do.
In the form.
Yeah, like in the form, we write you emails or write you little comments in the form. My goal, even though I love having people in recalls and I want people to stay in recallers forever because it's such an awesome community, my goal is for you to become a better and better and better dog trainer, which is why we have people who come to recallers who just wanted their dog trained better. And here we are a couple of years down the road, they're now professional dog trainers. Never in a million years would they have ever thought of that, because my goal is to help you be a better dog trainer, which is why, Mike, I gave you the series the way I did. I didn't say, you watch the game, you post a video, we tell you what you're doing wrong. I want you to learn to think the way we think, to observe behavior and say, this plus this, I think equals this. I'm going to change that. And then I'm going to post my video and I'm going to say to the community, my dog, when I play this game, is dropping his head here. I think I need to do more of this. What do you think? And when you do that, we are moving you up in your understanding of dog training. That's my goal for recallers. And that's why we have so many people that go on to actually open dog training businesses who had no intention of doing that. And we have, I'm going to share a couple of stories here. I went into recallers, I don't know, a month ago. And I said to my community, just in the Facebook group, I'm going to be talking at some point about recallers for people who are considering registering. Would you just say something about your experience? So I'm going to share a couple of them with you. And if that's okay, just let me know if you'd rather me not. So this is one. Rhonda said, I first learned about recallers 4 years ago. I didn't join because I couldn't justify the price. And I didn't believe that I would get results from an online class. Over the years, I've had many rescues and I've trained them all without a lot of difficulty. At the time I joined, I had 3 rescues. All had been easily trained. Then came Stella, a boisterous, untrained, 1.5-year-old Brittany. I had previously walked the 3 dogs simultaneously, but when Stella joined, it was utter chaos. And she was a bungee cord, ran and jerked, twisting to and fro. Even solo walking had become a nightmare. A year passed, we took more classes, read more books. Stella was no better. In desperation, I decided to take the plunge. I joined recallers. It was money well spent. The dogs love the games. We have learned so much. I didn't have a perfect life. I don't have perfect dogs, but I've learned to train the dog in front of me. Stella remains my most challenging dog, but we often are stopped by passerbys who comment, your dog is so well trained. I wish mine would walk like that. My biggest regret, that I didn't join recallers when I first learned about it. And, you know, that's what we hear from so many people. And I just want to share with you what I believe is happening from a psychological point of view. It's an investment. And it's an investment that you have to decide is, do I see value? And it is, how hard is my life with my current challenges with my dog? Or how much more freedom and joy would my dog have if they had these 8 behaviors on our top 10 that they now don't have? How much joy would I have if I didn't have to manage the garbage can every time I went out? Or if I didn't have to walk my dog only at dark when there weren't other dogs out? So when the pain you're feeling is overwhelming, it's easy to say, I'll pay anything to stop that pain. But for some of you go, I can live with this. And our brain tells us, stay safe. Don't join that program. And so your brain will give you reasons why you shouldn't join. Yeah, you live in, Belucaville. In your dollars, that's $800. You're not paying $800 when people in America can pay $500. That's crazy talk. That is your brain asking you to stay safe. And for you to ask your heart, will this program bring my dogs and I to a different level that no one else can take us? And I know the answer is yes, but I just want you to be aware of what's going on when you're looking at the things that won't work for me. That won't work for me because she doesn't have a Brittany. Well, guess what? It does work for Brittany's. It works for all dogs. It really does. Okay. BJ, totally organized gift boutique. Little plug for you, BJ. Does the program help us to know when to move on to the next game? Well, if you post your videos, yes. However, one of the things that I always tell people that the dog dictates the pace of your training. And so if you are unsure, do you think we're ready for more? Like, I just tell people, look at your training and ask yourself, how much are you helping your dog? How much are you trying to cover up what your dog doesn't know? And if you are helping, or how much joy does your dog have? Stay at the level you're at, have more joy, then move on. And when in doubt, post a video. We are there to help you. Okay. Okay, Mike. Thanks for your responses, Susan. I'm definitely looking to be the best trainer I can and learn as much as possible. I know I need active engagement from mentors and the ability to have many questions answered. I've struggled with a problem myself first. Sounds like Recolors is going to offer that more. 100%, Mike. And here's the great thing. Like, I remember, I don't know if you guys maybe have all been in online classrooms before. I decided that I wanted to learn how to have an online classroom. This was back in 2008. So I joined a program, or I saw a program. I was looking at different offers that came through, and I'm like, oh, this seems like a lot of money. It was $2,000 US dollars, and I was in Canada. So that was like 300,000 Canadian dollars to me. Just kidding, little joke. And I was like, this is so much money to spend. I don't know if I should do this. Here's what put me over the edge is when the fella said, join. I have a guarantee. Try it out for a week or two. If it isn't for you, then I'll give you your money back. And that's what I say to everybody. I don't want anyone to stay in my program because they feel trapped. We make it easy. You don't have to explain what went on. You don't have to explain why you need your money back. Just ask us, right? So that's really what is super important. Okay. Oh, one thing that I didn't mention is for those of you who want to be professional dog trainers, you can get both IABBC CEU credits and CCAPDT CEU credits. Did I say those right? CCPDT and IAABC. I think I got them right. So you can get continuing education learning credits by completing Recolors, right? Like that is the group of dog trainers who are our peers feel that this is so much value that professionals can get learning credits. Okay. Jenny said, I did Recolors in 2014. How much has changed? You know, the program, it's still game-based. You'll still a lot of the same games, but I've learned to become a much better educator, Jenny. So that's what's changed about the actual 40 games. But all of these extra programs that are in there, like they were never in there before. So that's a big part of it.
In 2014, you and I did the games.
Is that when we did them?
Yeah, now you
others to do them. Okay, so LOH reminded me, our first rendition of Recolors, which was released in 2009, I believe, 2009, LOH and I videoed the games ourselves. I did some, Linda did some with her dogs, I did some with my dogs. And what I found, and let me know in the comments if you guys have ever seen this, if you've ever tried to learn from a professional like myself. My dog is a world champion. All of my dogs, well, not the younger ones, but my dogs have won medals. They're the best in the world at what they do. So when I show you what it's like for my dog to walk in reinforcement zone on a loose leash, it sometimes doesn't translate to you and your dog that's doing that, does it? And so I don't know what year it was, maybe 5 years ago, we completely reshot every game, and I put an ad up on social media. Who would like to come and learn a game and let me teach you? And so we have all different breeds. I think there's, in the 40 games, I think there's 17 different breeds that I'm instructing people. Just like if you just went through the Connected Dog series, I was coaching people. So that's how you learn. It's a little bit more like realistic on how people learn. So yeah, that's what I said, like the Connected Dog series was. Okay.
Can you just run through what DoggyFlix was as a place that housed the series?
So DoggyFlix is a platform where you will be able to go back to throughout the year and find videos on how to do certain things. I plan on putting in, we've got like over 400 videos on my 2 YouTube channels, probably more than that. And so when somebody wants to know, how does Susan Garrett teach the stand? You have to search through all of this chaos. How does Susan Garrett teach a sit or a down? All of these will be available in Netflix for you. Anytime you want to go back, we're continuing, or in Netflix, in DoggyFlix, we will be continuing to put those little how-tos. And once in a while, generally once a year, sometimes it might be twice a year, I will put together a educational series for my online students. So this one, the Connected Dog, was put together for my recolor students. And whenever I bring in a film crew, go to all the effort to make this, I want to share this with the world so that the education isn't limited just to those who can buy my program. And so I give the world access. If they join DoggyFlix, they have access to the Connected Dog. And it was, and right from the beginning, I made it super clear that it was available only until the 23rd. So it went away in October 23rd, which was last Sunday. It's actually inside of Recolors now. So if you remember, didn't get to watch it all, it is inside of Recolors. For those of you who misunderstood, who didn't see in the opening welcome video where I explained it would be closed after 10 days, or missed the emails where we said it was closing, I apologize. We had 37,000 people watch those videos. 37,000 joined DoggyFlix during the Connected Dog series. So I'm so proud of my team that we were able to coach all those people. But a few of you misunderstood. You thought when I said you have access to DoggyFlix for life, you have access to anything I ever do. Those series I shoot just for my online students to help them understand some key concepts, but I share it with the world. It's like I create a course and I share it with everybody before it goes inside. All right, so that's the difference. DoggyFlix is still there, and we're going to continue to add videos from our other sources so that it will always be there for you. Okay, I'm going to share another little story from one of our students. So this is from Elsa, and Elsa, I'm going to just cut that comment out. Hold on. Okay. Elsa writes, I've been following Susan Garrett for more than a year, taking everything, her podcasts or blogs, and was looking for more ways to interact meaningfully with my dog. I am an aspiring professional dog trainer, and although I hesitated to join Recolors because of the price, I do not regret one penny spent on this program. The games are fun, scientifically sound, and you have all the resources every step of the way to achieve greatness with your canine partner. And I mean, I don't want this to intimidate anybody who doesn't want to be an aspiring dog trainer, because there's a lot of first-time dog owners in Recolors as well. Okay. Any
was a first-time dog owner that moved on to teach people.
Right. Elsa was. Linda, LOH was when Linda first came here. Let me just tell you that story. She had a Springer Spaniel who had tons of drive to do anything as long as it wasn't with Linda. And with Linda, she was like, oh, is this over yet? Now, Linda had taken her through a punishment-based program. And long story short, when Linda joined or started doing our program, I encouraged her to think about training other people's dogs. She's like, no way. Linda went on to represent Canada at World Championships in agility. She went on to travel the world and give seminars to people in dog training. So yeah, regardless, it's amazing the transformation that people have. Small dog videos. There are definitely in recallers, there are a lot of videos, both with small dogs, with hunting dogs, with big dogs. We have, I wish I had the list of the 17 different breeds that I could share with you. Yes, we have a lot of small dogs in there. Okay. I just, you know what? I want to, before I forget, because I always forget this, at the beginning, I didn't share our winners from last.
You're gonna do it now.
Okay. So, we had a winner. I asked people to share this video, and I want to announce that Annette won the share from the last video. Now, anybody, while you're still on here, and I will answer some more questions, let's just give away another prize. Here, my favorite dog toy for my Merles. Share this video anywhere in social media. Come on back in the comments, write shared. And before we end here today, I'm going to tell you who is winning. You have to put where you shared it, because this is going on YouTube and on Recalls. You can share it on Twitter and Instagram, on anywhere. So share it on your social media. And then this is awesome. Ryder is my small dog current crush. That's awesome. So Ryder is a little dog that was demonstrating a lot of the games in the Connected Dog series. So fun fact that you may not know, my first dog I ever owned was a small dog. It was a 9-inch Jack Russell Terrier, a traditional Jack Russell Terrier. And I've had many terriers since then. I just happen to have Border Collies in one terrier mix and one Bulldog mix now. And my terrier mix that I have now was intended to be a small dog. Nobody told her that. She grew very big. Okay, I'm going to go back and do another share from our community. I joined Recallers because my dog was reactive, anxious, high energy. This is from Gail. Sorry, I didn't introduce Gail. Today, he has an advanced canine good citizen title and is a goofy, happy dog. I saw changes as soon as I began to drop no from my vocabulary and started listening to my dog while using the game-based learning. If you need help with your dog, run, don't walk. Join Recallers. Okay, so I just want my students to help you guys to understand what that experience is like. I could go on and on and on, but the best place for you to get that understanding of what environmental neutrality is, what it means to have a dog focus more on you and not the environment. That comes with layers of learning where the dog is so focused on what you want that we're empowering the dog to make good choices, that it just changes life with the dog. Okay. Any other questions? Chris Dam asks, I'm interested in joining Recallers. Is there any content that will help with focus in the ring, connection, and keeping your dog fit for an agility dog? Whoo! Up until 2 weeks ago, I would have said no, there is nothing on keeping your dog fit. But I have a little surprise for my Recallers, and I just put a little something in there. But really, it's not focused on fitness. It is 100% going to change your connection. I promise you this, Chris, if you're looking for more speed from your agility dog, you'll get it from Recallers too. So it will give you a better connection, more focus, and the dog is more keen to do things with you. So yeah, when I would say our first couple of years going through Recallers, I would guess that 80 or 90% of the students were wanting to do agility, like they were doing agility. And now that number is far, I would say it's maybe only like 30 or 40% are the people who are wanting to do agility. We have a lot of first-time dog owners, first-time puppy owners. We have a lot of rescue dog owners, people who love reinforcement-based dog training and they want to learn more about it. We have professional trainers. We have people who've been training a different way their entire life, and they're wanting to change and do something that resonates more with the kind of relationship that they want with their dog. So, yeah. Okay, from YouTube.
How long should I dedicate to my training daily?
How long should I dedicate to my training daily? As long as you have. So here's the way I do it is I get up in the morning. I have a morning routine. I'm a early morning riser girl. So I'll get up between 4:30 and 5 generally. And I'll do my routine somewhere around 7:30. I'll do a quick training session. And then I go about my regular day. I try to get out before their afternoon walk and do another session. And then I do one after dinner. Now, when I have a puppy, these sessions are like, they could be 90 seconds, they could be 3 minutes. So when I have a puppy, they're more frequent. The big ones where I'm like, yeah, I'm going out, I might train 2 dogs and one takes their turn and another one goes, which by the way, you'll learn how to do that in recolors where you have one dog calmly waiting for the next, while they're watching you train another dog. And then you swap them out and you can train if you have more than one dog. So that's a very long answer. The short answer is, I keep going back to one of our students, Laura Malbrush, who actually became an instructor with us, worked part-time for us, and then her own dog training business grew up. Laura, when she first joined us, she had 3 border collies and 2 young children. And her border collies started to be a pain in the butt because she just wasn't giving them the time because her kids were so young. She joined Recolors and involved her kids in the training of the dogs. And she said at the time, all I could do was 2 days a week. And she was still able to see great changes just 2 days a week. So it really is, how many times during a day do you interact with your dog? Because every one of those interactions can be a recolor game. And that's the easier way to do it. And that's why we really encourage people to build it into the fabric of the life that you share with your dog. Okay, I don't know if I shared this one. So this is another dog trainer who was in our program, and I'll just get that out of there. Adele said, my dog had 0 interest in training, which was heartbreaking for a dog trainer. I needed to learn new ways to motivate him. We just joined an agility class, which a year ago was unthinkable. So the connection between Adele and her dog was exponentially improved to the point where now I'm going to join agility. Like that's what I'm doing because that's the difference that had happened in their time together. Bonnie was in the Connected Dogs series, and Bonnie wrote, it is amusing that in just a week that Jupiter goes to his hot zone, hot spots are something we don't want, after our early walk, awaiting our first training session. Other games are interspersed with activities as we go. That's awesome. All right. Welcome. LJ and Bondi just joined. Woohoo. Yes, Gloria. We will help you train 3 dogs at the same time, but not at the same time. What I mean by that is 2 dogs will be up on a raised dog bed, on your couch, in dog beds, and then you will have 1 dog off that you will be playing games, but you will be training all 3 at the same time because you'll be training those 2 to wait their turn while you're training this one to whatever game that you're playing, right? So absolutely. Our welcome. Oh my gosh, is that a little pushed in face dog? Ara, is that a pug? Did you guys know tater salad is 20% pug? So you know what? I actually I put an agility title on a pug. So I've always liked the pushed in face dogs. I see treats are used extensively. I worry about her getting overweight. Pug mix influence, use treats to transfer the value to me as a goal. That's our goal, Sandy. And in the meantime, we transfer the value to other things. So like, for example, it could be a hand target. It could be games that lead up to other games. It could be toys. We encourage you to play with your dogs with toys. So definitely. And, it doesn't matter if you join Recolors or not. This is just good dog training. Good dog training. Get as far away from the primary reinforcer, AKA food, get as far away from that as you can. Because if your dog won't listen to you unless they smell the goods, there's been a flaw. There hasn't been a transfer of the value from what the dog wants into you or into a game or into what you want. So it's super important. Dog training, there's a really close relationship at first, because that's how we develop relationships, is by reinforcement. But we've got to put some layers between you and the cookies. So one layer could be a game of tug. Another layer could be a game of chase. So there'll be more and more layers. That means the dog doesn't have to smell the goods before they do the work. Super, super important, right? When will jaywalking be out? I don't want to push my team, but I will say it will be soon. How about before the end of the year? I'll tell you that much. So I don't know if I see any more. If you guys have more questions, put them in. I'm going to see if I have. I think I have 2 more. Okay, this is a great story from Allison. I knew I needed to transition from the methods I'd learned in the 80s. Yeah, didn't we all, Allison? But something told me luring and having no rules was not the answer either. Once I stumbled upon Susan Garrett's free podcast, Shaped by Dog, I knew I had found my community. Science-based, deep thinkers who put fun, kind, and clear first in everything they do. I joined Recallers with my 4-month-old puppy, and 4 months later, I also joined Handling 360. People are astonished by our progress and my puppy's huge desire to focus and learn. So whoever asked the question about focus from your dog, 4 months, and you'll see a dramatic improvement in the focus. I think actually you're going to see it in 2 weeks. So big change in 2 weeks. Oh, Ray Lynn, when's the voting for the current round of recallers? So voting is still on for our for the Love of Dog recallers contest. In the final voting will happen this weekend. Cue the dramatic music. It's going to happen. And yeah, those are amazing videos.
On YouTube, Deb asks, can this training be transferred to my young daughter, who will be training the dog as her service dog?
Oh, so cool. So who asked that question?
Repeat that, Deb. They didn't hear me.
Okay.
On YouTube.
So on YouTube, Deb asked, is it possible to transfer this training to her young daughter, who they're training the dog to be a service dog? I don't know of many other training methods other than reinforcement-based training that will transfer as easy, right? Because it's playing games with the dog, and the dog isn't complying because they're afraid you might correct them. They're complying because you've taught them to have joy in what we call power words. So what other trainers might call commands, the power words are so well understood that the dogs just do them when you ask. And those power words transfer to anybody, because they want to do them. It's not under threat of do it, damn it. It's just, oh my God, yes, did you say that? Did you say that? So they'll listen to, yeah. And one of the great joys is when people are here, like my cleaning lady, when she's here, she loves to give my dogs cues, because she's like, they just listen to me and they do these things. And it happens every week. She was here today and she was saying the same thing about Swagger this morning. Okay, Pamela, I have a year-old rescue. Congratulations. Hearts for getting rescues, Pamela. And where would be the best place to start? Absolute best place would be in Recallers. And in Recallers, we have a version of Crate Games for you. Plus, if you want the full version of Crate Games, once you're in Recallers, we have a special offer just for our Recaller students, right? So Recallers is the most robust program that it is the absolute best place for you to start with your dog, for sure. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here. Oh my gosh, Jenny with a 10-month-old wolfhound and a 4-month-old Leonberger. Oh my gosh, how much fun must be happening at your house right now? I can't wait to see those pictures. That's awesome. Okay, I myself love wolfhounds. My sister had one that we, when I was a teenager, and that started my love for sighthounds. Actually love Salukis a little bit. I meant Afghan hounds. They're my favorite sighthound, but love, love, love all the sighthounds. Great, Pamela. Don't forget to say hi. Introduce yourself once you join up, and welcome. Okay, here's Doreen asks, my dog's name is a bit of an accident. She came as a small underweight pup, so she was little compared to the big dogs and the adults in the house. I'm wondering if joining Recallers gives me a chance to give her a more intentional name, or would that just confuse everything? No, it wouldn't. It depends on when would you change a dog's name. I mean, I always change a dog when they're coming from a rescue situation that you don't know the background. And what you could do, Doreen, is you could, like I do, have more than one name for your dog. So all of my dogs that have a minimum of 2 names, I think this has, she's got the least amount so far other than the puppy. So just have what some people might call nicknames. And my father always had nicknames for all of us. So maybe that's where it came from. But I bet you there's more people watching this right now that have more than one name for your dog that are completely unrelated. Like the black border collie in this picture, her name is this. Her nicknames are Little and Gemma Ding Ding. My Gemma Ding Ding Ding. Okay. So yes, nicknames are always good. And I would go through the program with that new nickname. That would be fun. Catherine wrote, I've used Recallers to train kids I work with to train my dog and their own dog. Oh, Catherine, you know what? I have no children of my own, but I'm one of those weird adults who has no children who actually loves kids. So, I love them. Okay. If there's, let's see, Carrie says 10 nicknames for Sapphire. Swagger probably has 10 nicknames as well. Okay. Here's what Joanna says. I didn't finish Recaller games. My subscription's going to the end. When I sign up for next year, where should I start or continue? I would suggest, Joanna, now, why would somebody not finish in a year? Here's one reason. I always encourage people, go at your dog's pace. So it might take you longer to get to a place of joy and confidence, right? Because we're going at where we can create confidence in our dog. Or it could be that life just happened and I didn't get finished. And so we always have an opportunity for all of our recallers to come back the next year or the year after if they want, or the year after if they want, in what we call our alumni, which is a dramatically reduced investment for them. So what I would suggest you do, Joanna, start just at the beginning, like print off all of the recaller games that you've done, put a star beside the ones that you use every day, and I can whip those off no time, and the ones that you need to focus on getting better at, and then just bring those along as you move forward. But knowing what you have got great, that you are working on all the time, and the ones that, yeah, I don't think I've got the understanding on that one that I really need. Okay. Now, if you guys want to know more about Recallers, go into recallers.com/join, and there'll be a live chat at the bottom, and you can go in there, and there's somebody on my team will be there to answer questions for you. Right now, I think it's LOH. So just go over, and I just want you to know, like, Recallers closes tomorrow night at midnight. Registration closes tomorrow night at midnight. And try to get out of your head about this decision, because your head is going to try to keep you safe. Your head is going to tell you all the reasons why. What will people think? No one else's opinion is important except your dog's. Do you think your dog would tell you a year of playing games in a community that supports this kind of way of developing relationship? I think your dog would say, I'm in. But make that decision intentionally. And if you're unsure, join, and you've still got that that guarantee. Try it. And if you say, well, I don't think this community is for me because they seem to be having too much fun and loving on dogs too much, and that isn't what I want. Honestly, there are people that we're not their people, right? Because we aren't going to argue why we think you shouldn't be using an electric collar on your dog. If you want to use an electric collar, we can't help you with that because I've never used one. That's not my avenue of choice. I always look for understanding rather than punishment. And let's not get into whether e-collars are punishing or not, right? You do you. And if you want to do you with us, then I'll be the first to say welcome. This is going to be an amazing year. Okay, I'm signing off unless I'll just scroll through one more time. And yes, it is in US funds. So wherever you live, that will be a different currency for you. But please, like, for example, I think in Australia, it's $800 US we have, I think next to America and Canada, Australia is the number 3. UK might be up there. Number 3 country with people that are in recallers. So for example, I think it's close to 750 or 800 Australian dollars. That's $15 a week. Where else are you going to get one of the top dog trainers in the world with accolades up the wazoo in an educational program that is proven with 40,000 students having gone through this? Where else are you going to get that for $15 a week? So don't let your head tell you, oh, that's more money in our currency. Yes, it is. And so that maybe make it harder, but go back and listen to what I said about the other students who said, I saw it 3 years ago and I didn't do it. I thought it was too much money. My biggest regret now is I didn't do it sooner. Do you think your dog would like you to wait and drag your heels before you start having fun in this engaging program, or jump in right now and see if it really is for you? Now, I don't want to discount some of you. This is out of reach, and that's okay. That's right. You're still my people. I still got a lot of free stuff for you. But for the rest of you who know you want to have a deep dive into what we do to help you bring out the best so that you give your dog a life of more freedom and more fun and more joy, then join us. All right. I'm not going to be coming back here on YouTube to talk about recallers, but I did want you guys to know, or on my main Facebook page. I'm not coming back here. I did want you guys to know, though, that registration's closing tomorrow. That's Thursday. I don't know the date. At midnight. 27th? Oh, 29th. Oh, for the love of all God. You just told me 2 different dates. It's tomorrow. It's the day after today, and it's a Thursday. I'll see you guys, hopefully inside Recallers. And go and give your dogs a pat and a cookie and say it's from Auntie Susan, okay? See you.